All right, welcome to the Calvin Podcast. I got my brother Randazzo with me today. He is a comedian, teacher, edupreneur in the tri-state area, New York specifically. He is an educator. He is a traveling comedian. He is a father, but he's here today on the Calvin Podcast, blessing you all with all his insight. What's up? How you doing, brother Moran? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm, exhausted. You said all that, and I just got tired thinking of all the things I have to do tonight. So I just put my kids to bed and just was rushing downstairs. I'm flying out tomorrow to go to Tampa to do shows. And then from
Wow.
Tampa, I'm flying to Cleveland. And from Cleveland, I'm going to Detroit, which is
Wow.
Detroit, right?
Yes, absolutely. And where were you performing tonight? Oh, at Detroit, excuse me, not tonight, but when you land.
Detroit House of Comedy. I don't know if you know it, but
Yeah. What
I
day?
don't know it. So
What day are you coming?
Saturday, the 27th. Yeah. Saturday
Awesome.
the 27th, I'll be at Detroit House of Comedy. Yeah, so it's been kind of wild because over the summer, I'm pretty much just touring on the weekends.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy because I'm just, living life and then going on tour on the weekends and coming back and then just being a dad. And I
Wow.
would, yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah,
That all
man.
this is happening.
You're definitely living the dream, and I definitely know you have a good work-life balance. So what's a good tip you give out there to teachers out there who just not maybe
Um,
struggling with balancing life? But yeah, what's the tip?
So a lot of people always say to me, like, how do you, because during the year I tour as well. And
Wow.
pretty much I tour every other weekend. So like
Wow.
on one weekend, I won't do anything. I'll take my kids to baseball, take my kids to, all that stuff. Then the following week, late Friday night, I get on the latest plane possible to whatever city. So if I'm in San Diego, I take the 11 o'clock flight to San Diego, fly to San Diego, spend the day in San Diego, do 2 shows in San Diego at night. Then I'll fly home at like 5 in the morning so that I could pretty much be home all Friday and all Sunday. And I'm really only gone Saturday. It sucks. I don't really have advice on how to make it happen, but I will say, like anything else, it's one of those things that if you want to do something, you're the only one who's going to make it happen. So you can't just I don't want, my father passed away. He was retired and then he passed away because he got cancer related to 9/11. He was a police officer. He was helping down at 9/11 and he got cancer related to it. My dad lived his whole life, did the right thing, and then died when he retired. So I don't want to look back one day and constantly wait. Oh, wait till your kids are older. Wait till this, wait till that. I don't want to do that. I want to live in the now and I want to do the things that I want to do. And I can't let time and stress be an obstacle. You know what I mean? There's always ways that you can get around things if you really want to make it happen and make it work.
Absolutely. And so definitely just transitioning to just the overall, what do you teach? Why do you get it? Why did you get into teaching? Right. And as a kid, did you have comedian teachers?
No, I mean, it's kind of
I'm just
wild
playing.
because
Teachers that were funny.
I had teachers that were funny, but it's kind of wild. So I got into teaching because I just wanted to help kids. I had a teacher. My mom was really sick when we growing up, and I had a teacher who was like, "Hey, school's important, but it's not the end all be all. It's more important to be a good person." And she was just always there for me, and I was like, I want to be that for kids one day.
Wow. Do you remember her name?
Now it's kind of become. What was that? I'm sorry.
Do you remember her name?
Of course, Hallie Burke. She's
Hey.
actually come to a bunch of stand-up shows that I've done, and I always call her out. I make her come up on stage, and
Wow. Beautiful.
yeah, she changed my life. And I always just think it's kind of cool for my students because last year, I don't know if I was on a Netflix show last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I was on a Netflix show. They see that I have a social media presence. They see that I'm doing stand up. And it's kind of cool for my students too, because I teach high school history. So a lot of these kids, whereas in most people, you're an educator, most kids, yeah, we could tell them, oh, believe anything is possible. You could do it. But it's hard to always believe that yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of these kids, when I say it, there is a little more weight because I'm hey, you could be on TV. I was a regular person. I was a teacher. who ended up on a Netflix show, who now does a full stand-up comedy tour, who like sits at the table with the big boys of Netflix, and it's not that scary. And like
Right.
I was just like them 15 years ago, just
Right.
sitting in the classroom fooling around, doing nothing, you know?
So I really appreciate this conversation, man, because you are a teacher at heart. I can feel it. You remind me of my mother. My mother will wear these bootleg Louis Vuittons, and she'll have like a bunch of like Louis Vuittons, and she just no matter what, she just had to be there. Like she was dressed pest dressed. She was a great teacher. She always said good morning, great energy, no excuses. You know what I'm saying? And that really sounds like you. So snap it to you, brother, man. I really appreciate you. I don't know what I said about the Louis Vuitton thing, but you know what I'm saying? Like she'll fake it till she make it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
my
I got
mom,
you.
yeah, you know, and she got some real ones sometimes too. But you know, she just wanted, you know, like, you know, she had it even if she didn't have it. And so, yeah, man. So
I
last
gotta buy
question.
the real ones.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, man. I got to get on your level. You know, I got to push myself more. I really love the work ethic, man. That's really very, very, very
Thank you.
respected. So, yeah, brother. So, just kind of talk about like, you know, so you coming back, you know, off of a flight, you tired, you exhausted, you got the show coming up. I don't know if you know, inebriate or you drink water or you pray. How do you get in
Nothing.
the zone to get in the flow to do what you do consistently? Like, and then what does flow
Uh,
mean to you and why is it important?
well, I have kids, so it doesn't really matter what mood I'm in or whatever. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Unless I have a choice, you could just be a deadbeat and I could just sit there and not care. But I have kids that I love and I care, and my wife is great. So, like, that's what motivates. You know, I come home and I'm like, well, now I got to be a husband. Now I got to be a father. And then, like, on some Monday, now I got to be a teacher. And I got to get my, you know, and it's just kind of, I've just been doing it now for a while. And I've always been, I don't even drink coffee. I don't drink anything other than water.
Wow.
Nothing, like no alcohol, no, I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. Like I just drink water, and I just don't, I really don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how, but I find the motivation because I know where I was a year ago is so much where I was, to put into perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was doing shows in front of 4 people. And I was just like, hopefully someone will come. And then like social media started to pop off a little. And then like that led to doing shows in front of 250 people
Yeah.
overnight in New York. And I'm like, wow. And then, but it was still small countrywide. And then like all of a sudden, like I was, you know, doing shows in front of 400 people in other states. And
Yeah.
it's just like at my core and in my heart, I'm still doing shows in front of 4 people because I know that that was only 2.5 years ago. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's still mind blowing to me that people come, you know, like, and it's
Wow.
awesome. And like, that's what motivates you, because it's like, if I got that far in 2 years, well, where will I be in another year? You know, like in the first year, you know, in the first big show I ever did, I made more money than I ever made in comedy my whole life. And then, you know, a year later, I doubled what I made in that first show on a nightly basis. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you realize like, wow, there's such a greater thing out there. So you just keep striving to get there.
And you go with the flow. It sounds like, you know, you don't press on the present. You kind of stay in the present and you just allow it to kind
Well,
of.
because like if I start thinking of the future where I'm like, and here's the thing, you could plan all you want. I had the being on a Netflix show would have, if you told me to just take a suggestion on like a list of things that you thought might happen, that would have not even been a blip on a radar. And yet it happened. So like, I can't predict what's going
Wow.
to happen in a year from now. You know, maybe I'm not even teaching in a year from now. Who knows?
Why is
So.
comedy so hard to do? I don't know if you watch like Kill Tony. And I was actually in Las Vegas, and I'll tell you this quick story. Literally, everyone's doing the bus stop, everyone's dancing. It's like, you know, a BIPOC affinity group event. And then the comedy special start. And then the guy picks up the mic, and then the whole vibe just boop. But then before you know it, people just walk it out, walk it out, walk it out.
From
You know what
Kill
I'm
Tony?
saying? Excuse me?
It was Kill Tony?
No, 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 no. I
Oh,
said I watched Kill Tony, and I've seen
oh,
like
I got
comedies get up
yeah.
there and do just really just go for like 60
No, it
seconds.
sucks.
It's hard. It's
It,
really hard. Yeah.
listen, I think teaching has really prepared me for it because, like,
Wow.
as a teacher, you're basically a stand-up comedian anyway. You're
Hey.
standing in front of five different classes, and what works for one class won't work for another class, and things that are funny to one group aren't funny to other. And sometimes you need to baby a class, just like sometimes you need to, simplify things for an audience. There's so many parallels between the two.
Wow.
And I just think that you just, as teachers, we roll with the punches all the time anyway.
Mm.
Your lesson gets derailed from a bumblebee flying in the room. Stand up, all of a sudden a waiter drops the food, the drinks. You can't just act like it didn't happen, just
Happen.
like act like the bumblebee. So you just kind of go with the flow with everything and make it work.
I love it. I love it. My brother, man, today, brother G Randazzo with us today. I really appreciate you, brother, man. Jasper, appreciate you, dog. We are here today, talking about comedy. I really appreciate you just really, really just being a teacher. Like I could really tell, I could feel that,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for being a great father. Thank you so much for providing smiles to the world because we
Thank
need more
you.
smiles, man. Where can they find you and what do you got coming up one more time? And what time is your show in Detroit?
You can find me at Stand Up Randazzo on all platforms. Stand Up Randazzo, and then I'm in this week. I'm in Tampa, Detroit, Cleveland. Then I'm in Nashville, Atlanta, Staten Island, Freehold, New Jersey, Austin, Texas, Dallas, Columbus, Cincinnati, Allentown, Grantville. Those are in Pennsylvania, Raleigh, North Carolina, Rochester, New York, Manasquan, San Diego, Phoenix. The list, there's a lot. You could get tickets. Just go to my Instagram, Stand Up Randazzo, and all the things are there for you to find.
Check him out. He's hilarious, y'all. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, guys. Thank you.